Hey everybody, this is Leanne Presley with Stitchcraft Marketing here today with another office hours for you. Office hours are our way of giving back to you. It's our monthly open live chat webinar where we present a topic to you in 10 or 15 minutes, and then we open up the floor for you to ask questions about that topic or really any challenge that you're having in your craft business. So today we are going to talk about the top 3 autoresponder tools for craft businesses. So first, let's start off by talking about why autoresponders matter. Of course, we know small businesses thrive on creating community, and we're always talking to you about how we want you to create a sense of belonging with your customer. And so autoresponders can serve that purpose by creating that trust. We always talk about the know, like, and trust funnel and how we want to nurture our customers to get us to that place where they really trust us. So that continual communication that we can achieve through an autoresponder is one of the reasons why we love it as a tool, but also because it's going to save you a lot of time. I know after 15 years in this industry and working with over 300 companies that you are overwhelmed. I just know it. I hear it every day. And so anytime we can help you to create tools and tips and tricks that make your job easier so that you can focus on the creative part of your business, we love that. So autoresponders really help with that as well. And it really is a great offline tool. So I like to say it's helping you make money while you're sleeping because it's keeping your sales moving forward after hours. So, of course, the number one tool for autoresponders is going to be our email newsletter and the automations that are built within our platforms. At Stitchcraft, we talk all the time about the importance of newsletters. When customers trust you with that direct contact, that permission-based marketing, it's really one of the only things that we have in marketing where that happens, where your customer is giving you the permission to market to them. So that creates that direct line of communication, which can be really, really powerful. So if you can create some well-crafted autoresponder sequences, probably the most well-known one would be a welcome sequence. It really sets the tone for new subscribers and it nudges them towards making their next purchase. So a couple of options for you here. The welcome sequence, like I said, is the most popular one. It's going to be where you welcome your customers. You're going to be sharing a valuable piece of content like a tutorial or some sort of story about your brand and why you are different than the competitor down the street. An educational sequence could be tied to your class registrations. It could be sharing valuable information about products that are related to a course or how you use them. So just so many opportunities for you to be teaching and doing tutorial type autoresponders or reinforcing some sort of component of teaching in an autoresponder. And then a product sequence where you can share tutorials about the products or in-store reviews, product highlights, behind the scenes. There's just really a plethora of options that you can create auto sequences for your customer. All right, so a couple of other ideas here. You can employ a branded abandoned cart sequence. We love those. A lot of times we're getting just distracted and we walk away from a cart. So having an automated sequence that brings that customer back to your abandoned cart and helps them complete the sale can be very effective. A brand ambassador sequence that looks like a welcome sequence for new newsletter subscribers, but it might contain information about your brand and your business, an introduction to your team, or insight into your values and your offerings. We have a client that does just a special automation send for his highest grossing customers, and he calls them his brand ambassadors. So you could create that as well. Anytime someone hits a certain threshold of purchases, then they're in this group and then they get an automated sequence. Or again, the tutorials, tips, and other content related to a specific project. So how do you use it effectively? So 3 steps here. You're going to want to start off with smart timing. You have to have near instant delivery of your auto sequence in order for it to work effectively. You don't want to have a couple of days delay. So we get this question a lot, like what is the correct delay for a sequence. And I would say no longer than a 24 hours. If I sign up for your newsletter, I want to hear from you within 24 hours. For class or project-based sequences, that should coincide with either signing up for the class or making a purchase of that kit or that product. Don't delay on getting those set up and out. And the beautiful thing about automations is you can set that schedule right in the platform. And so it's no problem in terms of timing for you to set when it goes out quickly. Next, you're going to tell your story with your brand and your personality. This is the place where you differentiate yourself from your competitors. You want to share with your audience, what is it that you're going to give them in terms of value that is different from anyone else? How are you going to lure them into that know, like, and trust funnel with your specific story? What's unique about your brand? And then you can also further segment your list for further relevance. You might schedule a sequence that gathers different educational materials, tips, and tricks for quilters who maybe just purchased a brand new top-of-the-line machine. That segment's going to be really different from quilters who are just purchasing fabrics. Or maybe you're a quilt and a knit shop and a crochet shop, so you just have fiber and fabric. And so your segment will be different for your sewists than it will be for your fiber artists. Some pros and cons here. So the pro is it's always working in the background. It's great for storytelling and promotions. It's easy to personalize based on the behaviors and really customizable. We love that aspect of it. The cons are that it's going to require some thoughtful planning with regular updates. Some of the free platforms might have limits, so you might find yourself in a place where you do have to pay for an upgrade in the plan in order to access some of the more robust components of an automation tool. And like anything else, you're going to need strong visuals and good copy to remain engaging with your audience. This is what an autoresponder flow looks like in MailChimp. So you're going to first trigger the automation. So it's something like a purchase. That would be the first initial trigger. Or it might be a subscriber signing up for your newsletter or someone abandons the cart. And then number two, you're going to customize that message followed by the email template and then set your timing. And once everything is set, you're going to publish your flow. And then that automation is just running in the background. It's just good to go. The next tool that we recommend is in Meta Messenger. We know a lot of crafters are active on Meta, which is going to be your Facebook and Instagram, and lots of craft businesses and get their customer questions via Messenger, especially around hours or when classes start or pricing. So setting up autoresponders on Messenger isn't just helpful for your customers, but it really does positively affect your response rate on Facebook, which is really important. And you can earn the badge of very responsive to messages on the platform, which is always a bonus. Meta makes it super easy for you to set up that autoresponder and answer immediate questions while also thinking a step ahead of your customer. So it's great for things like, when are you open? What is your location? What is parking? What are your hours of operation? When does your sales start? Things like that. Messenger will help you add some pre-built automations for instant replies, for contact information, or an away message. And each one of those can be automated and customized. So make sure that you are on top of those and updating them as needed. And then we know Messenger automations are just great because they're built right into the Meta Business Suite, which I hope many of you already have configured because it's just kind of a one-stop shop place for everything Meta, and you're going to be able to manage a lot of your marketing very easily on the back end of your business suite. And there's a lot of new automations they're always adding, like creating a list of keywords for comments that when used by followers will trigger a certain auto reply. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in there, and I encourage you to jump in and explore it and see how you can use the Meta Messenger tools more effectively. So a couple of ideas here. Setting up your instant reply might be something like, hey, thanks for reaching out. We'll get back to you during business hours. But here's a link to our FAQ in the meantime. Quick reply buttons are great. You can set those up easily. So think about like shop new arrivals or our class schedule or contact us. And if you're not active on Messenger, remember to drop in your best contact information, whether that's an email address or a contact link on your website. Because what you don't want to happen is for people to be engaging with your brand on Facebook and then they're sending you a DM or they're interacting with you and then it's crickets, right? That's going to diminish the trust that they have with your brand. So make sure you're staying on top of that. And then, of course, like I mentioned, you can update it seasonally. So you can refresh that messaging before your busy seasons or specific events. This is also great for class reminders where you can set a reply of when your next class session begins and then share the link to your full class calendar. Couple of pros and cons for Facebook Messenger. The pros, we love that it's responsive, it's personal, it meets your customer where they are on the platform. We find it very intuitive to set up and manage, and it will help reduce repetitive questions. You know, we all know you're short on time. You don't have all day to sit in your inbox and respond to the same question over and over. So let's get that automated for you. The cons are limited space and customization. Of course, it does not replace your full customer service tools. If you're one of those shops or businesses that's really well known for customer service, you might find this limiting. And you can miss some nuance or tone unless there's a real human being behind the email reading it. And it does require regular updates to avoid outdated info. Here's the flow on Facebook Messenger auto replies, just your really quick setup guide. You're going to want to go to your Meta Business Suite, number one step. And then number two, you add in your FAQs or the quick replies. Number three, you'll set that reply up. And then I always recommend you test things. So you're going to want to save it and test it out and make sure it's working the way that you anticipate. Tool number three is ManyChat for Instagram. ManyChat is used on several programs beyond just Instagram. You can use it on WhatsApp, on Facebook Messenger, on TikTok, etc. This is going to boost your in-app engagement, similar to the one we just talked about, which really helps the algorithm take more notice of your account. More comments and story replies shows Instagram that you are available and that people like and engage with your account. So this is going to be a nice boost for the algorithm for you. It's important to note, unlike other autoresponder tools, ManyChat is primarily a paid service. They do have a free plan, but it only includes up to 1,000 contacts. Their plans after that are scalable, starting at $15 a month and then increasing with the number of accounts that you have. And again, it allows you to auto reply to DMs, to story reactions, and post comments. It can convert social engagement into leads and sales, helps build the know, like, and trust funnel beautifully. And we really like it a lot for launches, for list building, and product information. Again, I'd encourage you to check that out. This is how you would use it effectively. You're going to go in and set up replies to comment triggers and story replies. You can go ahead and set those up. And then the replies can send links via direct message to your website. So that's a nice feature. It can capture leads with keyword triggers like emails or phone numbers. I can create triggers to capture those for upcoming product releases or new classes. And we love that it gives you the ability to offer something of high value to your customer in exchange. Again, you can create a trigger like to share a tutorial or a free pattern or a link to a blog, or there's so many options for this. So again, there are some pros and cons. The pros would be it's definitely going to help you build stronger engagement on Instagram. It's going to be great for capturing leads like email and phone directly in the chat section. So it's great for list building and promotions. We love how it works well for launches and campaigns. It helps keep communication just quick and consistent. So it gives your customer that sense of personalization, which we're always trying to achieve. On the con side, it does take time to set it up correctly. So I just would say don't get too frustrated, dedicate some time, and and hopefully it'll be a once and done setup for you. Of course, a con is cost. Some of the paid features might be necessary for scale or to extend those automation flows. It can sound robotic if it's not branded or personalized well. So you will need to test that out and make sure that it does reflect your brand's voice and tone. And like anything else, it's going to need to be regularly updated. So again, put this flow together for you just so you can kind of see what the steps would be. Here is a 5-step flow. So you'll connect ManyChat to your Instagram account. Number 2 is you'll create that new flow. You'll go in and design your message, which is step 3. And then you'll use story and comment triggers, which is step 4. And then number 5 is launch and monitor. All right, so what's next for you? Of course, you're going to, I hope, dig deeper into autoresponders. You can use them for a welcome sequence. At the very minimum, you should have a welcome sequence set up, just a 3-step flow. A lot of the platforms have templates already outlined for you to be able to do that. So there's really no excuses as to why you should not have a welcome sequence set up. And then you can maybe move on to 2.0, which would be abandoned cart or some of these other tools that I mentioned in the presentation. But we do want you to dig in and experiment with those. So if you're the kind of business that's like, oh gosh, I know I need this, but I don't have time and I'm not getting to it, we definitely can help you with this. You can hire the agency to help you set up those flows. And they're evergreen. So once you set it, you can forget it, kind of. But in the initial part, you should have an automation that will last you several months, maybe twice a year. You can go in and update those, but we can definitely help you get the first ones set up and tailored specifically to your brand. And we can even help you with the abandoned carts or really any of the flows that we talked about today. So give us a call and we can get you set up. We do have contact information on our website, stitchcraftmarketing.com. You'll see the contact info there, and just fill out that form and then we'll get back in touch with you about how we can work together. In the meantime, if you've not heard, we do have a new book out. This is our book that the whole team wrote. It's Marketing Magic for Savvy Craft Businesses. It's a quick book. You can read it probably in a week, but this is the definitive guide for any business that is in the crafting space. This is 15 years of our experience in working with over 300 companies in the space. My whole team wrote it. And for July, we are giving you a 10% discount if you use code BUYINJULY25. That's BUYINJULY25 for 10% off your order through the month. If you go directly to our website, stitchcraftmarketing.com/magic, and you can order it print copy, or there's links there that will take you over to Amazon if you prefer to have a hard copy shipped from them, or if you would like the Kindle edition. So hopefully you'll get your hands on a copy, and we'll see you in the next office hours. If you're interested in staying on our office hours list, you can sign up for our newsletter. And again, that's on our website. Just fill out your email address. That's all we ask for. And then you will receive updates on the topic and the day and the time for our office hours every single month. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you the next time.